Hey, good morning, everyone. I hope you had a good weekend. So I'm going to get started here. Today, what we're going to work on, I know on Friday you guys did you had a quiz on some fractions. So we're going to kind of move a little bit further. We're going to work on decimals today, which is actually just a fraction in itself. And we did some of this in class. So for some of you, this might be just a refresher, which is fine. And the thing I want you to try to remember is we handed out that place value worksheet that talked about place value. So what I'm going to do today, I'm just going to work on kind of place value. We're going to look at some decimals. So the place value, if we start right here, that would be the decimal. And the thing you want to remember, everything to the right of the decimal is going to be less than 1. So that's a good starting place. Just remember, it's not as great as 1. It's going to be less than 1. So in this first column, there's a 7. We call that the tenths place. And the next one over, if we have like if we have like a 4 there, that's going to be the hundredths place. And the next column, so we have a 2 there, that's the thousandths. Okay, so it's tens, hundreds, thousands, and it would keep going too, but I just want to focus on these 3 right now. So really what these numbers would mean is, so if we just look at the 7 here, 7 tenths. So literally all that would mean is 7 over 10. The next one would be 4 over 100. And the last one would be 2 over 1,000. That's how you would write that, basically. So we have the tenths, hundreds, and thousands. Okay, so when we're doing place value, when you're moving to the right, it just goes, you just basically, if you're looking, you just add a 0 to each number. So we start like right here, there's 1 0 for the tenths, hundreds is 2 zeros, thousands, there's 3 zeros. That's just an easy, basically, reminder for you when you're basically looking at place value. And it'd be, if we were looking on the other side of the decimal, it's the same thing. The only thing that's missing here is that we don't have a ones in the decimal. Like on the other side over here, if we had a number on the other side of the decimal, like if there was 2, that would be in the ones place. If we had a 4 there, that would be in the tens place. And if we had like an 8 there, that would be in the hundredths place. So the only thing we're basically crossing out is the ones place right here. But I'm going to get rid of these because I don't want you to focus on that. But basically, just keep in mind tens, hundreds, thousands. Okay? And that's how the decimals work. And then if I moved out one more over here, if there like was a, if we put a 5 right there, that would be 10,000s. But I don't want to confuse you. Eventually we might get to that, but for right now, if you guys understand the tenths place, the hundredths place, and the thousandths place, that would be great. Okay, so when you see this fraction 7 over 10, that's 7 tenths. 4 over 100 would be 4 hundredths. 2 over 1,000 is 2 1,000ths. Okay, so the reason we're doing this because decimals kind of piggyback with fractions. Okay, so what I'm going to have you do now is basically, I just want to show you something really quick. Because when we were doing mixed numbers, when you were multiplying, let me get rid of this here. Like when you guys are doing mixed numbers to convert to a fraction, like 6 and 1/2, you would multiply the 6 times the 2, which is 12, and add the 1, so you would get 13 over 2. Okay. What I want to do right now, just quickly, is how we convert a fraction to a decimal. Okay, so I just want to start with the 2. We'll do a real easy one here. We'll do 1 over 2. If you see that, they say I want you to convert that to a decimal, how would you do that? Well, you would divide the same thing, the denominator right here, the 2, into the 1. So you divide 2 into 1, we got to put a 0 in there. What it would be is 0.5. So 1/2 into a decimal is just 0.5. It'd be 5/10. Okay, so when they ask you to convert a fraction to a decimal, all you're going to do is the same thing as divide the denominator down here into the numerator. Okay, let's do one more. Okay, let's do 2 over 5. So 2/5. They might ask you convert 2/5 to a decimal. And basically all you would do is you're going to divide the denominator, the 5, into the 2. Okay, and really 5 goes into 20 4 times. So 2/5 is going to equal 4/10. Okay, and really how you would write that is 0.4. It's 4 over 10, 4/10. Okay, let's do one more and we'll do another pretty simple one for you guys. If we did, let's pick, let me see here. We'll pick 5 over 8. Okay, now it's the same concept. We're going to divide the denominator into the numerator. So it's going to be 8 into 5. We've got to add a 0. So how many times does 8 go into 50? 6 times 8 is 48. 10 minus 8 is 2. We bring a 0 down. 8 goes in there 2 times. 2 times 8 is 16. And then 20 minus 16 is 4. Bring one more 0 down. And 8 goes into 45 times. So what you would get is 0.625. So 5/8, if you're going to write that as a decimal, it would be 0.625. Yeah, that one was a little tricky because we had to go out 3 places, but it's the same concept, basically, just like if you were doing a basic division problem. Okay, so that's just some basics. Because we're going to start working on decimals. And like I said, fraction and decimals are basically the exact same thing. They're just written a little bit different. The decimal is obviously written with a decimal point. The fraction, you guys know, it's a number over a number with a line in the middle. But I just wanted to remind you guys, the most important thing is if we go back to place value, it's just keeping your place value. And that's why we handed out that sheet in class about place value. It always starts with a decimal. And then that first place right there would be the tenths place. Next one is the hundredths place. And the last one we're going to, for all intents and purposes today, would be the thousandths place. So tens, hundreds, thousand, whatever number is there, that's 1, 2, 3. And once again, they're just going to be over the number. So the 1 would be over the 10, 2 would be over 100, and 3 would be over 1,000. So that's basically it today, you guys. We'll continue to work on decimals moving forward. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And the one thing we were talking about, if you guys, if you're interested, we'd be willing to do kind of a Zoom call with you for some tutoring, maybe one-on-one, or if there's a group of people, we could do that. So let us know if you're interested in that. Okay, have a good day. Uh, so my 8x8 kicked me out right at the end. So I know we talked about it. We're not going to. Should I post something out in Google Class? I would do practice on when you work on it. Yeah, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Post the link for the video. Kind of like content. Practice. Yeah. When you're talking about California, and they will then get more central defense from you. I'm gonna love reading those three so like you would. So what's gonna be interesting too, and I don't know, it was Thomas and Alito, yeah. They said it, and Kavanaugh said they said it. Last night, yeah, no, yeah. First of all, fuck off, Tucker Carlson. Yeah, God. He's going off on this. Yeah. Like, he's gone so far off the defense. Like, really, yeah, they don't like it. Oh, yeah. Did you see any maintenance today when you came in? I would even thought of it.